I think we add it in, and then we're a
Okay.
week behind. I think that's
Yeah,
fine.
no, I think it's good to be a week behind too, but
Yeah. Although my poem this week is very topical.
well, then let's
It's
get
really
to it.
not, but
Let's get to it, Dave. Don't spoil it for me here. Rhyme or free, it doesn't matter to me. It's my bad poetry. Good day, and welcome to My Bad Poetry, a podcast where we take a deep dive into our poems from youth, yesteryear, or even yesterday. Always asking the question, why in the world did I write this? I'm Aaron.
And I'm Dave.
And together this week we are looking at another poem from the third anthology of my high school collection, Analogy of Life. Dave,
Yikes.
Dave, sorry in advance.
One of these days, I'm actually going to know when you're done with your little monologue, but it's not today.
This is one of the only scripted parts of the show.
Yep.
And how many times
And
have we
you've
done
shown
this?
me the script, and
Yep.
I've heard the script how many times,
Yep.
and I will never, ever, ever learn.
No. Yeah,
You're welcome, buddy.
that's okay. So you were saying right before that you actually have a topical poem this week?
Yes. This is a bit of an epic poem. It's a bit
Ooh.
long. So I will let you know when it's done. Okay.
Okay.
I think I'm emotionally prepared. This is a poem called Unhealthy. Refreshing. 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 2% reporting. Refreshing. 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 2% reporting. Refreshing. 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 Refreshing? 2% reporting. Fiend. The most tepid applause ever.
What I love about this is I know exactly what you're talking about.
Right? Very, very straightforward.
Yeah, and I think most of our listeners would know exactly what we're talking about. For those of you who are listening outside of the United States, our midterm elections and some big races were in the mix. Yeah. And so right after 8 o'clock polls closing, it was just like watching the news from 538, from Politico, from KARE 11, and I mean all the news networks. It was like
right everywhere.
AP Press, give us something new.
And my wife just kept looking at me like, has anything changed? No, not for the last half an hour. Then why are you on your phone?
Yep.
I don't know.
Yep.
I don't know.
Anyway, so I loved that poem, actually. That was a good
You're
one.
welcome.
Yeah.
I was going to say thank you, but no, you're thanking me for that poem.
Yeah, I was a little worried that it would go until we were at 98% reporting and like called. Like, no. I was wondering if that's what would have made it epic. If like he just kept like 4% reporting.
I mean, for the most part, are we even at 99% reporting for some of these races?
No, not even close. Silly Arizona and their laws. I mean, the way that they are forced to count mail-in ballots, like, oh my gosh, they need to fix that.
I'm still super angry about Georgia. The fact that you have to get over 50%. But like
or it's
that
an
literally
automatic recount. Yeah.
Yeah, there's literally no way that a third party could ever do anything ever. Like there's 0% chance.
Yeah. I mean, there's very little chance to begin with. But yeah,
I know.
The third parties just play into extending the race in that case because
it literally doesn't change the race. It just means that every time there's an election, there's going to be a runoff.
Yep.
If there's at least a semi-alive third-party person running.
Yeah, we just need to go to more choice-based or rank-based.
Rank choice?
Yeah, rank choice. Rank choice would be interesting. Alaska's trying it. So this episode of My Bad Politics Take
Yeah.
is brought to you by the state we are in, which is utter fear. Dave, my poem for today comes to us from the Wolf Journal. No, this is you should read. This is a bigger news than it is. That you've.
No, I agree. This is bigger news than it is.
Oh, I expected a
gasp?
shock. Yeah, something.
Okay. Give me the line read again.
This poem comes to us from the Wolf Journal. Oof, that was.
I think I just ripped my vocal cords in half. Ouch! Worth it.
No, Dave. Do you? So
Yeah, I understand that we're back into the Wolf Journal.
Yeah, and this is the first one of the Analogy of Life thing.
Yep.
That has not been solely typed.
You're presenting this as if how do I put this delicately, care.
Oh, well, I mean, for those diehard listeners who have listened to us back into season 2.
First of all, sorry.
Yeah, I'm showing Dave here. The last page, I'm the one who knows your shoes. The face.
No, I remember well.
Yep. And then you turn the page, and we have realizing. And this is the first written poem. Immediately, right off the bat, we have that I have changed the title of this one.
Ooh.
In the typed edition. And there was some edits being made on the fly. I have some crossed out words.
Sure.
So we'll have to see if any further edits moved from the page to the typed. The written version is called Realizing. The typed version is titled Realization. You sighed too early. Realization.
No, I just saw where it was going. You said you changed the title. That is, I mean, you conjugated the title differently.
I did. Realization. The art of realizing can be a blessing, and yet it is a curse to me. To realize dreams are a lost cause. To realize everything you wish for can't come true. To realize that death takes life. The realization that the one I love will never feel the same. This is my curse, and yet it only speaks the truth.
So, just to be clear, this is a poem that you have edited?
Let's look at the written version. So no changes have been made beyond the edits on the page. So I have in the central line, to realize that death takes life, I started writing from, crossed that out, just ended the sentence there. Up at the very top, I have the art of realizing is a current, and I crossed out is a current. Oh, no. That's my handwriting. It says is a curse and. So the art of realizing is a curse and. I decided to cross out is a curse and instead decided to structure it can be a blessing, and yet it is a curse to me.
That's technically better.
Is it? Is a curse and a blessing?
I'm trying to be positive.
Well, okay. So the art of realizing is a curse and a blessing. The art of realizing can be a blessing, and yet is a curse to me. No, neither is poetic.
Nope, neither is good. I agree.
Okay.
You're a bad poet. We'll just stick it at that. Send me this poem.
Yes, sorry. You need to see it to believe it.
Believing is the problem. I mean, I've realized something in this poem that it's terrible.
The formatting of the chat doesn't show, but it's an hourglass. Here, I'll just share screen for a second so you can see that.
So it's a concrete poem.
Actually,
it's
no.
the
It's
opposite of an hourglass.
Yeah, I just realized.
You said hourglass, and literally this would be the worst hourglass in human history. Yeah, it would just drop all of the sand literally in the same second.
It's a diamond.
Hey, Aaron, how do we have actual poets come on our show? Like,
It's
how?
it's a mystery to me. It's the month of Thanksgiving, and I'm just like, we need to thank a lot of people.
Yeah.
'Cause,
For giving their time to our waste.
oh man.
I'm just gonna... I feel like I need to tell you this
Yes.
about poetry in general,
Yes. Okay.
Aaron. Using words from your poem as the title, not great.
Well, I disagree.
Starting your poem with realization, and then the first line is realizing,
The
No.
art of realizing.
bad.
I have art in there.
Bad, Aaron. Bad.
But saying art makes it art, right? Like the art of realizing, ooh, this is an artistic take.
Oh my gosh. There is not enough air in the world for the fart noise that is in my soul.
Oh, you have made that insult before, Dave.
It's been a while, though.
It has,
I'm holding
it has.
off on it.
You've been holding it in. That's not healthy either.
Better out than in, I always say. Thank you, Shrek.
I'm gonna throw something at you here to counter that bad take you just had on titles. The Raven.
How does the Raven start?
Something about sitting in a room.
Yep. Does it start with the Raven? I was sitting in a room and the Raven appeared. No, it doesn't, Aaron. It's a little more subtle than that.
But it says the refrain is quoth the Raven. So you just said it's bad to name your poems after things in your poem, and I just completely blew that out of the water. That was a bad take, Dave.
Fine. That was a bad take. The better take is, this is a terrible way of titling your poem. Realizing... I mean, really, though, when you originally called it realizing, and then 4 words in is the same exact word.
See, I improved. I realized that realizing is in the first line, so I retitled it to realization, which doesn't show up till the, 10th line?
You're pouring soap on mud. It's better, but it's still not clean.
So, clearly, what happened is I realized the truth that I wasn't going to be dating the girl I wanted to date at the time. I don't know if you caught that subtlety, Dave. It was
Yeah, I got it.
It was
I got
really
it.
woven into the subtext.
Right. The
of this.
subtext of the realization that the one I love will never feel the same.
Yeah. That's
Yeah. Again, that is subtle as, I don't know, naming your poem realizing and then using the word realizing in the first line. Unforgivable. Just unforgivable. That's what you are.
Oh boy. This
This is off the rails.
I know, but I love it.
To be fair, this show never had rails.
Oh, Dave, I just realized something.
Yeah.
The truth at the bottom
It's
here
capitalized. I know.
is capitalized. Thank you.
Is this a reference to your first poem? Or, well, was it the first poem?
It
Or...
kind of feels that way, yeah.
This is my curse, and yet it only speaks, comma, the truth.
Remember at the very beginning of all this mess that I have dragged you into? Dragged you into?
Drugged. I have the truth. Do you?
Yeah, I'm doubling down here. Basically, I've come full circle. I've had this existential crisis, and now having had that crisis, I have now grounded myself in the truth that yes, death takes life, but I know that truth, and that is my curse. I'm living with it. I'm sticking to it. I know the truth.
Question.
Yes.
What's it? And yet it only speaks truth. The curse only speaks truth? The blessing? The realizing? What's speaking here? Your love?
I think it. No. I think if I'm parsing this poem correctly,
Which you're not, because it's impossible.
I mean, it is my previous self, but
I don't think your previous self could do it either.
Of my poems, I have to admit, Analogy of Life is like a dark spot for me. For those of you who come to this show for the the critical context of a high school Aaron, I am very much this is some part of me has just dumped this memory in the waste bin of time. I got nothing on this section of poems.
So season 4 of our podcast will be entitled My Bad Therapy, trying to dig up Aaron's repressed memories.
Of the winter spring of 2006, I think?
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
It's all that matters, really.
Really, yeah. But clearly I've blocked it out because it was a curse.
Oh my gosh.
I have remedied this curse and just forgotten it all. The it here. Sorry, to get us back on whatever.
Is it Tim Curry or Steven Skarsgård? What's his name?
It's the Skarsgård. It's one of them. There's like 10 of them.
I did not know that. I assume they're all the same person.
I think the Skarsgårds, they just multiply to scare us. So the it here is the realization. Every time I realize something, it is the truth that is speaking to me. So yet the realization only speaks the truth.
So then what's the comma doing there? If I was trying to make this more interesting, I would say it's the truth that is speaking to you. So it's like kind of your realization is itself truth. And so you're combining together those two concepts of my realizations are truth, whereas other people aren't, because I just assume high school Aaron is kind of a solipsistic narcissist.
Ooh. Can you define solipsistic? That's a word that I should know, or maybe
yes.
not. Yeah.
We're gonna have to Google it, but in my understanding of it, solipsism is kind of the idea that you are the only one that is real. You are the only central, like it's more than just you are the only central figure. It's you are the only one that exists, and that everybody else is kind of a figment of your creation.
Oh, so it's
and
kind of
now
like,
we're gonna Google it and find out how wrong I am.
Yeah. So it's kind of like the whole we're living in a simulation, but it's my simulation. I am the simulator.
The view or theory that the self is all that can be known to exist. So it's more of a I think, therefore I am. I don't know if anybody else exists because I don't know if they think.
Whoa. That's a harsh burn on my previous self. I should see if there's some scars from that burn. Because see, we're in the future.
Yeah. That was stupid.
Folks, this is what happens when we record on Saturday and not Friday.
And when Dave has a bit of a fever. Woo!
To get back to your, and yet it only speaks, the truth. Yeah. This is one of those situations in which my wife Abby would say, do you ever read your writing? Because I to this day don't get commas. I don't get commas at all. Oh my gosh. That is I don't know, a vice. That is my curse. This is my curse.
This is your curse.
Comma splices. Anytime I feel a natural break in a sentence, like even like a pause in my thought as I'm typing, a comma's going in there. Whether or not it makes any sense. Where commas need to be, Google or Word typically tells me. They're like, you probably need a comma here. And then all the other commas, they're like, this guy is hopeless.
We've officially given up on his grammar.
It just stays in there. So when you were saying, but the comma's there, I will be honest, I had no clue what you were talking about because I am blind to this.
Yikes.
Yeah, this is an issue of current me.
So you do end each line of this with some form of punctuation.
Other than one. The realization that the one I love, but I suppose because that is well, they're all parts of a sentence. So, but yes,
At least if you were consistent with it, I could understand.
No, I think I must have just missed a comma there. Because honestly, if you're looking at this, you should realize the comma is used to show the break in the line. Not the break in the line itself. My understanding of poetry at the time I typed this was, I'm breaking a line. I need to put a comma in here so everyone knows to pause because, again, as I have
That's
thought,
how you read poetry.
if there's a line break, there's a pause.
I don't know what to do.
Oh, yeah, I don't either.
Because my solution is to be mean to you, which is kind of just my go-to solution constantly.
So, Dave, we've gone off the rails, if there ever were rails.
Yep.
The one other thing I would say about this, to kind of touch on the social commentary that we dip our toes into or dive into every once in a while, this does feel a bit, if we go into the manosphere side of things, this does feel very much red pilly.
Yeah.
The curse of realizing. And then you just take the red pill and you realize that the world is crap and you need to be some sort of edgelord monster in order to know the truth. I don't know. It's gross.
So we're back to solipsism.
Yes. Yeah. This is a matrix of my own making, and I'm gonna change the rules. That's the gross side of this, and another place where it shows how high school people in general have very vulnerable psyches and can go down those rabbit holes if they are dug for them. So,
well, and it's an extremely profitable market that a lot of people just target insecure high school boys and girls claiming that they have answers to these big questions, even though those people don't. They just have a way to monetize.
Mm-hmm. So now that I've taken us down that corner, let's turn the corner once more, Dave, for the most important part of this show. Good or garbage?
Well, I've been thinking about the balance of the universe, you know? Because we're talking about curses and blessing. We're talking about life and death. We're talking about love, maybe apathy. I don't know, man. This poem's garbage. Yep.
Oh, dude. I love how this far into the show, you're just like, I give up.
I just can't.
No more.
I got nothing, buddy. This is just, no metaphor.
Anyway, we're going to end this week with the words of a true poet.
Oh, jeez.
This time coming to us from Poe. It's called The Raven, Dave. No, it's not that.
And it starts out, the raven tapped on my door. That's the end of the story, friends.
Quoth the Raven, this is art.
Nailed it.
Our poem this week comes to us from Alice Dunbar Nelson, and it is titled Thought. A swift successive chain of things that flash, kaleidoscope-like, now in, now out, now straight, now eddying in wild rings. No order, neither law compels their moves, but endless, constant, always swift roves.
Nice.
Yeah, it has, again, moves and roves.
Yeah. No moves and roofs.
Yeah. Man, I kind of wish I would have found this one for tangents. This would have been a really good compliment to tangents. But, you know,
it works here too.
It works here too.
Poetry is beautiful that way, in how malleable it is.
Yeah, I agree, Dave.
Yeah, good poetry can do that.
That's why we end with good poetry, Dave. It's the palate cleanser for us all.
Okay, here's your moment of zen.
Yes, exactly. Maybe I was inspired by that.
You're welcome.
Because I had that inkling from the very beginning. And no, that's clearly a ripoff of Monobitism. Well, there you have it, folks. Another realization to close out the books. This has been My Bad Poetry.
Now go write some of your own bad poetry.
Well, Dave, thanks for climbing out of your fever dream and recording this mess.
Oh, I do have to run an idea by you.
Okay. Rhyme free doesn't matter.